Good evening, football fans. Welcome to the Chessmont Game of the Week presented by the Sunoco Pipeline on ChessmontFootball.com. I am Mikey Dunn, joined by Carl Rubman as we get set to bring you the second round District 1 playoff matchup between the number 2 seed Coatesville Red Raiders and the number 10 seed Downingtown East Cougars. It's a rematch of their Week 10 matchup that's seen on ChessmontFootball.com. But in case you want to know a little bit more about the teams, Carl, tell us a little bit about those Downingtown East Cougars.
Okay, Mikey, the Downingtown East Cougars are coached by Mike Matta. Had a 9-2 season so far this year. They're led by their senior quarterback, Luke Davis. And, of course, there's two great dynamic running backs of theirs, Garvey Jonasate and Zach Hamilton. Garvey Jonasate this season has 1,394 yards rushing with 16 touchdowns, while Zach Hamilton has 967 yards and 17 touchdowns. They have scored, they've given up 17 points a game while scoring 38. But most of those points per game, Mikey, were given up in two games. Their losses, they gave up 28 to Downingtown West, and, of course, a week before last to Coatesville, losing 42-7. Their big win last week in the playoffs, they crushed Springford 39-12. They used a hurry-up offense where we'll be interested to see, Mikey, whether they go with that again tonight. And they ran the ball 75 times for 349 yards. Zach Hamilton alone almost had 200 yards rushing. So we'll look for that. The other big thing is the turnovers. Downingtown East has got to limit their turnovers to really zero. They need to play a perfect game, and they need to be able to run the football. And they've had 6 turnovers, I believe, 3 in the last 2 games. Didn't hurt them last week, but this week it will hurt them, and it hurt them last time they played Coatesville.
The last time they played Coatesville, they had a great first quarter. They actually did something that no team had done against Coatesville all year. They took the lead on them. They led 7-0, but then there was a bad punt, and 3 turnovers later, it was a Coatesville rout. And we're going to talk about those Coatesville Red Raiders after we hear from the Sunoco Pipeline.
America's oil and gas moves through 2.4 million miles of underground pipelines safely. But one of those pipelines were gone. We would need 90,000 more tanker trucks or 27,000 more rail cars every single day just to meet our energy needs. So, do you want this, or this? We move America's energy. We are Sunoco Pipeline.
And we are live in Coatesville, Pennsylvania, as the Red Raiders are set to take on the Downingtown East Cougars. It is a Red Raider team that, Carl, they had a great season last year, and they basically are repeating their success of last season. They are 11-1. Excuse me, 11-0. They are 6-0 at home, 5-0 on the road, 6-0 in conference. They are averaging 47 points a game, giving up just 10 points a game. And Carl, they are just filled with weapons on offense and defense. It's the fastest team I think we've seen in the years we've been doing these games. Just the numbers are astounding, and their starters usually don't play in the fourth quarter. Ricky Ortega, over 1,800 yards passing, 31 TDs passing, 651 yards rushing, 10 rushing TDs. Aaron Young, he has over 1,000 yards rushing, 20 TDs. Dupree Bryant, 843 yards receiving, 13 TDs. Dymere Miller, 420 yards, 9 TDs. And they have more weapons than that offensively on defense. We're going to say Tion Holmes' name several times. We're going to say Jimmy Limper several times. We're going to say Charles Brown so many times. There's so many guys that Coach Matt Ortega, can go to when he needs a big play. And he's going for his 100th win tonight, Carl.
Yes, Mikey, absolutely. 100 wins, that's pretty amazing accomplishment. Like you said, all these weapons, and, somehow Downingtown East has got to slow them down. Whether it be a key play or a couple fumbles by Coatesville, they've got to be able to force some turnovers, and they got to limit their own. They got to be able to run the ball effectively. They have been able to do it most of the time against most teams, but not so much against this Coatesville team. So it will be necessary because they are a running team. They are not going to win through the air.
And what's going to be tough for them defensively, Carl, they had that strong first quarter last time. Aaron Young still had 5 touchdowns in that game. He had 129 yards rushing on 10 carries. And then Coatesville last week in their round 1 win over Central Bucks East. If you missed that game is archived on ChestmontFootball.com. Aaron Young had 3 touchdowns. Ricky Ortega ran for 1, he threw 2. One of those was to Dupree Bryant, who also had a kickoff return. They were trying to kick the ball away from Young. They gave it to Bryant. He ran it back. It's a team that is full of weapons, that they don't make many mistakes. And when they do, I don't believe I've seen any team at the professional level, the college level, or high school have so many 3rd and 20 or longers and still pick it up as though it was nothing. Last week it was Ortega on one play with the run. They're a really tough team to stop. You have to hope that Coatesville beats themselves. And Carl, their biggest weakness that we've seen the last 2 years was penalties. We did a game this year where they had 14 turnovers against Ruston. 14 penalties against Ruston. They've really cleaned it up the last couple weeks.
Yeah, they have. And I was talking, we're reading about Mike Matta, and a quote in the paper, Mike said that, he's Stubblies, they can beat this Coatesville team. And the other thing he said is, we are not afraid of them. He said other teams may be, but we are not. So, I believe that, but it still comes down to talent level, execution, things like that. You can't just win a football game because you think that you can contend with that team. You really have to play and be able to beat them.
Well, this is a Coatesville team. Just to go over how they've gotten to this perfect record, it was a Week 1 win at Harrisburg, 37-6. A win over Middletown South, 62-14. A win over Cumberland Valley, who beat them last season. They won 35-19. That game was on ChestmontFootball.com. Win at Shanahan, 49-0. Win over Henderson, 55-14. Win at Ruston, 52-21. They beat then undefeated Downingtown West, 42-14, giving them their only loss. That was on ChestmontFootball.com. They won at Westchester East, 56-7. Won at Avid-Grove, 42-0, and then it was the win over Downingtown East. So, Carl, it is interesting to note these two teams faced each other last season in the playoffs as well.
Correct, Mikey, and Coatesville did win that game also. But the thing is that if East is going to have to play an all-around great game, special teams, kicking game. Obviously, like we talked about, running the football effectively, Luke Davis handling the ball well, and once you start seeing turnovers, this game could be over in a hurry. So Coatesville will make you pay for yardage and position. The thing is also, Coatesville is they commit penalties, right, and they'll get it to 2nd and 20, even 2nd and 25. And how many times this year we've seen them convert on those downs? Almost 60 to 70% of the time, I would say, which is incredible. It's usually a down that most teams can't possibly convert. And they're also not afraid to be, down in distance. They're not that worried about it. They just have so many big playmakers. And that's what Downingtown East is going up against tonight.
An interesting Chestmont note, Carl. This is the first time that Coatesville, Downingtown East, and Downingtown West are all in the District 1 quarterfinals in the same season. And you have Downingtown West taking on Truman tonight at Kottmeyer Stadium. Other Chestmont teams playing this weekend, you have Unionville taking on Radnor, and then Westchester Ruston's game against Academy Park. Well, that game actually was postponed until tomorrow and moved to a neutral location. It is a rainy night here again at Coatesville, just as it was last week. We did not see it slow down Coatesville at all. The field is maybe something that you would think would have slowed them down, but they did not get slowed. So we are going to see the Coatesville speed probably not be slowed down much. as we see that Coatesville will receive, so that powerful offense is going to be on the field first. I believe the last time these two teams played each other, Downingtown East kicked off to start the game, if I'm remembering correctly, Carl.
Yeah, so again, so it'll be a big series of downs here to see if Downingtown East has anything in their repertoire to be able to stop Downingtown on this first drive. They need to get off to a quick start. They did a pretty good job in the first quarter of the game they played 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they stopped Coatesville in the opening drive. They took a 7-0 lead. They looked like they had everything going, but then it just turned into mistake after mistake after mistake.
Right.
A bad punt and 3 fumbles.
Right, and obviously that can't happen, and there's not going to be much more to say if that happens again, because you cannot beat a Coatesville team with those kind of fumbles and execution problems.
And when we were Carl, when we were talking about Downingtown East, we have some numbers that say that Hamilton is just under 1,000 yards, some that say he's over. Either way, if you're a team that has 2 guys close to 1,000 yards rushing, you're pretty talented. But if you get down, you really can't run the ball to come back.
Very difficult, unless you guys are running 30, 40 yards a clip. And they're not that type of runners, Mikey, right? They're bang them, get to 6, 7 yard type rushers.
We are underway. It is a short kick that is going to, I believe that's Dimir Miller. Another talented player. But, hey, Downingtown East would much rather have the Red Raiders start at the 36 than have that be run back.
Correct, and that's the idea. But the problem is, Mickey, like you said, when they kick it short, there's all great players along that line also. You have Demir Miller, Shamal Hall, and so you have there's really no way to get around it.
Coatesville led by their senior quarterback, Ricky Ortega, the coach's son. And he throws it to Dupree Bryant on first down. It was a solid pickup on that completion.
Solid tackle, but a good executed play. Stanley Bryant makes the tackle there, Mikey, and it was a good tackle. At least held him to, I believe, 9 yards.
It is 2nd and 1. Ortega hands it off to Young. He only needed 1. He got 2. First down, Coatesville. And it is a rainy night here, so ball security is paramount. Some of these players might think, you know what, let me not worry about trying to get that extra yard. Let me just secure the ball. A little bit of a low snap there. Young again on the carry. Takes it up to the Cougar 46.
Good run by Aaron Young there. A straight power run, using his strength. Very difficult to stop, Mikey.
Pick up a 6, 2nd and 4, ball on the 46. It's the opening drive of the second round of the District 1 playoffs. Low snap again. Ortega takes it. Makes one man miss, makes another man miss, makes a third guy miss, and a fourth. He's still going, Carl, up the sideline. Carl, what an impressive run, but there is a flag on the play. That's usually in the area of holding. Now, even if there was a hold, Carl, he made the man miss by himself.
He did, and he does that a lot. And I'm just marveling, just standing there watching him break those tackles. First of all, he uses his speed always to get away from the first guy. But you would think, Mikey, that maybe that somebody could grab him and get a hold of him. But he just breaks tackles, and he's not a big guy. But here's my thing. We talked about being the distance being a problem, and they seem to be able to convert these long yards and distances. So we'll see if they can convert another one here, Mikey.
2nd and 13, ball on the 45. No one in the backfield with Ortega, but he throws the quick pass to Miller. But it is incomplete. That's what you have to worry about with the wet conditions, Carl.
Yeah, and that's unusual for them to drop, Dimir to drop that ball, Mikey. But like you said, in these conditions, that can happen. So it does give a challenge to Coatesville now, because they do have a 3rd and 13. ones we've seen them make many times. But in this driving rain, will they finally succumb to the weather?
Or did not risk having an incomplete pass, so they just hand it off to Young. They do like doing the option as well, giving Ortega a chance to use his legs. Showing blitz. They drop back. Well, there is pressure in Ortega's face. Makes a couple guys miss again. Now he looks to throw. He just lobs it up, and it is intercepted. And it's being run back by Jet Lucas Murphy. Carl, not a smart decision. We usually see Ortega making the smartest play you can, but he just didn't want to get sacked and threw it up.
Again, great way to get out of trouble there, but he just threw the ball up, Mikey, and it was an easy interception and a good job securing the ball, on the interception because they were trying to take it away. So there it is. There's a big play. The first turnover is Coatesville's, and it gives them the ball at the 33-yard line of Coatesville. Let's see if they can capitalize and get the lead early in this game.
1st and 10, ball on the 33. It's a handoff to the up back. As that is Nico Lemke, who we saw make probably the best defensive play we've seen all season when they beat Unionville, where he just ripped the ball from a ball carrier, ripped it back, or ran it back for a touchdown.
See if they do a hurry-up offense like they did last week. They are Luke Davis in. Lemke is kind of like a fullback, Mikey, there. He's very strong. And, they got 3 yards, so it was a successful play.
And it's Davis taking it himself. Takes it up to the 27. Pick up a 3.
Interesting call. I'm not sure I really love that play. Is just running it straight in the middle of the line with no running backs. But they still got 3, and now they're in down at distances 3rd and 4, Mikey.
If you're a Cougar fan, you want to see them take advantage of this great field position. It's a run by Jonathan. Going to depend on the spot. I do believe he's short, Carl.
I believe he's short. I think they have another 3-yard gain there, Mikey.
Yeah, they're marking him down at the 25.
Looks like a 4th and a little over 1. They're calling it 2.
Another thing you have to focus in on when it is the wet conditions is the kicking game is going to be more interesting. They're going to go for it. It's Jonathan with the run. I do believe he got a stop, Carl. You know what? The ref on the far side of the field looked like he had him shorter than the ref on the near side. The ref on the near side, but Downingtown East is just running off the field. It does not matter. Right. It's not even close. The Coatesville defense comes up with a stand after the Cougar D.
So give Coatesville's defense credit there as they, Downingtown East just running the ball straight up the middle 4 times, unsuccessful, could not pick up 10 yards.
Pass is complete to Bryant. They do a good job knocking him out of bounds. Carl, and there is a flag after the play. It's going to be on.
I'm not sure
curious to see who's on. Yeah, unless they call it on both. It looked like both players were kind of shoving each other.
This is usually a penalty that Coatesville gets a lot of times, but they're talking about it here, Mikey.
Unless somebody said something, it looked like both players did something. It really just should be
kind of like pushed each other, right?
It should be offsetting, but unless somebody did say something.
There was good defense on that play. Usually when Bryant gets out there, he has a lot of room. They had 2 guys on him.
And they're just calling it on Coatesville, Carl. Unless they didn't see the initial push, or maybe all they saw was the initial push, but they have called it on Coatesville. But what I want to say, Carl, is a lot of time people still try and tackle these Coatesville players when they're to the sideline, just try and push them out of bounds. I always wonder how they are able to stay in so well. But what they did there was they didn't even tackle them; they just bumped them out.
Right. Do you think Dupree took an exception to the push out? I'm not sure.
I think he got pushed first, and he responded. It's 2nd and 21. Young with the carry, making several. Cougars miss. Gets back the penalty yards and then some. He's going to be tackled down at the 28.
That's what I mean, Mike. These down and distances don't really mean much to Coatesville.
3rd and 7. Truman leads Downingtown West 7-0 early in that game. And it's Young on the carry. Great blocking by the receiver to the outside. He's still going. He's in Downingtown East territory. He goes across the field, and he finally falls over backwards, Carl. But what a run, and a lot of that was done by the blocking by the wide receiver that was at the far side of the field, Carl.
Yeah, James Basili saved the touchdown there, Mikey. I thought he was gone because when he breaks out in the open, he's almost impossible to bring down. But Basili got him to a position where he just couldn't keep up.
Another Chestmont score for you. Unionville leads Radnor 7-0. Pass is complete to Bryant. He's fighting for every yard he can get, Carl.
Are you kidding me? Tell me about it. He's out. Out of bounds. The guy's wrestling down.
It is the same play that they did earlier on this drive.
Yeah, he had a little more room this time, Mikey, and you know what? He don't need much.
Holding against Coatesville. As we have members of the press box who are not happy.
This is what Coatesville does, but they're so good, Mikey. They are able to overcome these penalties.
And I do believe you could see, I don't know if that was Coach Ortega, but one of the coaches was having a few words with the referee, 'cause it's the same ref that's called the flag each time. Young on the carry. He's going to be tripped up. That is a nice job by Stanley Bryant, Carl, taking his legs out.
Yeah, Stanley has shown up a couple times tonight already, Mikey, on defense.
A lot of times that's what they say to do with bigger backs, is take out their legs, but Speedy one too if he can't keep his legs going.
Very, very unusual to see Aaron Young with no game, Mikey. Or actually a loss.
2nd and 17. Ball on the 40. 6:25 to go here in the first quarter.
5 wideouts, Mike. 4 on one side, 1 on the other.
Watch Ortega taking himself on the draw.
Wouldn't be surprised.
No, it is the pass.
Whoa.
Is that a backwards pass?
It's close, but it's out of bounds, so it'll just go as an incompletion.
Be curious to see where the ref spots it, actually, because if that was
that's
backwards,
true.
they would have lost
Well,
some yardage there. And they do move it back, Carl.
They do. You're right, Mikey.
It was through the hands of Young. It was a little high. And
So that would not count as
wet
an
conditions.
incompletion? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I believe that would be a backwards pass.
You know, it's going to make it
Fumble,
third.
maybe.
Yeah. 3rd and 24, Mikey. Let's see if they can. Of course, you got to be careful to not throw the ball up to Downingtown East again.
And they are changing the hash mark as well. It's actually a good job by the officials. The ball went out of bounds over there, so it should be at that hash mark. If the refs need to take an extra second to have the call be correct, I'm all for that. Well, we saw Downingtown East have a strong first quarter in the Week 10 matchup against Coatesville. Can their defense get a stop on 3rd and 24? This is what teams have struggled against Coatesville. There's pressure up the middle. It's a little short pass to Bryant, and he's got room to run to the outside, Carl. Can he get that block to spring him? He's inside the 5, and he's in the end zone. Dupree Bryant with the 47-yard touchdown reception. They do it again, Carl.
Yes, they do, Mikey. And all you have to do is create a lane where you get open space. Then all he has to do is use his speed, and that's what he did. He used his great speed to cut across the field, and there's just nobody that can catch him. He's just that fast. And just a dynamic play, again, on a 3rd and 24, just like we talked about. Down and distance does not matter to this Coatesville team.
Extra point is up, and it is good. Coatesville leads 7-0 with 5:39 to go here in the first quarter. It's the Chestmont Game of the Week on ChestmontFootball.com. And that touchdown is brought to you by proud Coatesville alum Brian Maloney, your hometown realtor, with the Matt Gorham Group of Keller Williams, Coatesville's top-selling real estate team. Just like the Red Raiders, Brian outworks the competition, taking his clients across the goal line. Call Brian Maloney for all your real estate needs at 484-678-0013. Carl, it was almost as soon as he caught that screen pass and you saw him running across the field, you could just see there was nobody over there, Carl.
Yeah, nobody over there. He broke it out. It's just a great play by him. Somebody down on the field, too.
Yeah, we do have an injured player, so we're going to take this opportunity to hear from our friends at Washington Hose Company, number 1.
The Washington Hose Company is located at 376 East Lincoln Highway, serving the city of Coatesville and the surrounding communities for almost 150 years. Our dedicated EMS staff of volunteer and career are proud to provide EMS services 24/7, 365 days a year. WHC offers first aid, CPR AD, babysitting, and several other training for first aid and certification classes. To take a class or volunteer, please contact us at 610-384-6464. Be safe.
Hi, this is Andy at Chester County Transmissions. We're a full-service automotive shop here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania that also specializes in transmission and driveline repair. Just so you know, for all your automotive needs, we're here to take care of you. State inspections, whatever you need. Our number here is 610-384-2879.
Good morning, Chester County Transmissions. Rich speaking. How can I help you?
Please stop in, give us a call. God bless.
And we are back live at Red Raider Field in Coatesville, Pennsylvania. There's still an injured Red Raider down. We're not sure who the player is, but we are hoping it's not too serious an injury. Maybe they're just trying to, maybe it's a situation where they got the wind knocked out. We hope it's something that's not too major an injury.
Looks like they're working on his leg, Mikey, from what I see. They got two guys, so it's possible. There's somebody on the front and in the back of them. So,
but let's get back to talking about that drive. You had Downingtown East. They had a couple good defensive plays. There were some penalties that assisted them, but they had a 3rd and 24. And just talk about what that makes a defense feel like when they can't get a stop on a 3rd and that long.
Yeah, it's just the speed of Coatesville is just so dynamic. And they just, once they have any separation, they're gone. And there's just nobody that can keep up with those guys.
Yeah, Carl, it is a team that really, you would say it's a team that can beat themselves, but whenever they do something to themselves, they find a way out of it. And, hey, if you want to get out of maybe a jam, maybe a forgotten anniversary or something, or want to give somebody a nice present, go to the Coatesville Flower Shop. That's right, Coatesville Flower Shop is 70 years old and still going strong. This family-owned business is located at the corner of 3rd Avenue and East Lincoln Highway in Coatesville. Whatever the occasion, you can rely on their years of experience for expert advice and designs. They have been named one of FTD's top 200 florists in the nation for 10 consecutive years, with 4 generations of the DePedro family working there. They are happy to go the extra mile to meet your needs. And they deliver. Call them at 610-384-2677. And guess what? Mention this ad tomorrow only, coupled with a Red Raider win in tonight's game, and you can buy 1 dozen roses, get 1 dozen roses free. That's the Coatesville Flower Shop. Still down, Carl.
Yeah, I was
Definitely have to
wondering.
think it's a serious injury at this
Right,
point now.
and so where's the stretcher? That's what I'm looking for. I mean, it's going to take this long. It's unless its problem is serious, and even then,
They don't want to move a body part, maybe.
right.
Or,
But you would think this is the longest injury we've had this season. I mean, maybe in all the seasons I've been working the games.
yeah, we did see a serious injury here in the game against Downingtown West, where it was the quarterback from Downingtown West, Howard, breaking his wrist.
Right.
But we've not had it. He was down for a bit, but it was actually not that long. But also was an injury to his wrist. This, we don't know if it was the leg or with that many people out there now, you're thinking maybe it's something with the neck or the back or a head injury of some sort.
Well, they do. They usually have ambulance on hand, don't they? Usually, Mikey.
I'd actually see it on the far side of the field, Carl.
Okay.
In the corner of the end zone that's closest to the school. And I do see somebody coming on the field. I don't know if it's somebody from that ambulance. And we do not know who the player is. And we're actually going to take this break to hear from Beaver Creek Tavern. Whether looking for the best burgers in Chester County, a place to host your private event, or a relaxing place to enjoy daily food and drink specials, Beaver Creek Tavern has you covered. Serving classic American fare with gluten-free and vegetarian options available. To get the party started, go to 1350 Bondsville Road in Downingtown or call 484-593-0481. We'll see you there. And we're also going to take this chance to hear from the James J. Terry Funeral Home.
Since 1997, the James J. Terry Funeral Home has been providing meaningful and personalized funeral and cremation services in Downingtown. We've now expanded into Western Chester County and have opened our second location on Lincoln Highway in Coatesville. Let our friendly and professional staff show you the benefits of pre-planning your funeral arrangements. Pre-arranging provides your family with options ahead of time and can ease future financial burden. We'll be glad to assist you in your pre-arrangement process in the Downingtown or Coatesville location. Let the James J. Terry Funeral Home be there for you and your family in your time of need.
We are back here at Coatesville High School in Coatesville, Pennsylvania, as the Red Raiders have just taken a 7-0 lead. We are currently in a injury timeout. Update you on the other scores going on right now. It is Neshaminy and North Penn, 0-0. North Penn is the number 1 seed. Harry S. Truman is currently beating Downingtown West 7-0. That's the 5 versus 4 matchup. Of course, here it is the 2 versus 10 matchup. You have Quakertown, the 11th seed, playing against Garnet Valley, the 3 seed. That is 7-7. Interborough versus Penwood in the 5A playoffs is tomorrow. Ruston versus Academy Park in the 5A playoffs. That was supposed to be tonight, actually. That game was moved to tomorrow. You have Unionville and Radnor tied at 7-7. And only other game that is going on right now that has a score is Pottsgrove and Pottstown. That score is 7-6. Carl, I've been impressed with Downingtown West after they lost their starting quarterback. They haven't lost a game. Now, they lost the game he got hurt in, but they did get the big upset against Downingtown East in the Battle of the Brandywine. They have actually been very potent offensively, but their defense has really stepped up as well. Coming into the season, people were talking it was going to be Coatesville again. It was going to be Downingtown West was going to be better because of their quarterback. Downingtown East, a lot of people were thinking, all right, well, they have a good running game, but what will they do? You know, how will the quarterback be? Will it be as strong a defense as usual? They've still had a great season coming in at 9-2. Their losses were to Coatesville and to Downingtown West. Now, I usually say if it's a game where you lose, a season where you lose your 2 biggest rivals, you're going to be disappointed. But hey, here they are. They made the playoffs yet again. They have had a playoff win yet again. And Carl, I do see the ambulances coming around. I do believe that they are getting ready to drive onto the field. So it's definitely not a good sign.
No, I knew with him being down that long, I was just thought it would be a little faster that they would have come onto the field.
And the rain seems to actually be coming down harder now. So with this rain, we want to give a shout out to our camera crew, our grips, everybody that's broadcasting this game. We are the lucky ones. We get to be in the press box. I want to give a shout out to everyone from the ChestmontFootball.com crew. And really this whole season, it's just been a great job by everybody here. And unfortunately, this will be our final broadcast of the 2018 season. Been happy to bring you all these games. We've had some great plays all this season. We're hoping to see a lot more great plays tonight. Although we will not be broadcasting next week, we're going to try and keep you updated as best we can with the teams going forward on our Twitter account. You can follow us on Twitter at ChestmontFB. You can like us on Facebook at 3CTV Live. And you can follow us on Instagram at 3CTV Live. And also, folks, guess what? Coming soon, stay tuned for ChescoAthletics.com, where there's going to be men's and women's basketball and wrestling. So ChescoAthletics.com, just because this is our last football game of the season doesn't mean you're not going to get to see those Chessmont teams you love so much. That's ChescoAthletics.com. And now, Carl, here comes the stretcher. I don't know if we're going to be able to see the number of the player, but sometimes it's almost good not to say the number, just so let his family kind of have that moment themselves. But whomever the player is for Coatesville, obviously these two teams are competing. Nobody wants to see anybody get injured. Everybody, when it comes down to it, they're all football players. They all want to see each other get through the game healthy. So to recap that drive, Carl, it was Coatesville having a holding penalty. They had a personal foul. Both of those actually occurring on bubble screens to Bryant. But then you have Bryant taking a screen pass on a 3rd and 24, 47 yards to the house. And it's just the speed. That's why it always is such a factor. He took the screen pass on the one side of the field, and as soon as he started cutting over, you could just see he was going to get a big gain. He did need a block. It was a nice block that got him to the end zone, but it was all Dupree Bryant with that speed.
Yeah, it was a 76-yard drive, Mikey, and like you said, the penalties and things like that just didn't stop them. And guys like Dupree Bryant and Aaron Young are just really hard to stop. You can't stop them the whole game. You just can't. They're just too good. But the thing is that Downingtown East was doing a pretty good job, and especially on that first drive, and they almost had him stop on this drive. But again, Coatesville makes a big play and gets the lead.
And I think if you're a team, the best way to respond when your team gives up a play like that is you want to go out there and show, hey, we can score some points too. I don't know if that's going to make Coach Madden maybe want to call a trick play, or does he keep doing what the original game plan was? Now, their first drive of the game, they had fantastic field position after an interception, but they were unable to do anything. They couldn't even get a first down. They went for it in a 4th and 1 and were stopped. Will they be able to answer and get some points of their own? We're going to find out when they have their second drive of the game. The players trying to stay loose for Downingtown. As you can see them on the far side of the field running back and forth. As you're not used to having this long a break. You're used to having halftime. But that's also after you've been playing for a while.
Right. This is almost turning into as long as a halftime, unfortunately. And we wish the player who's injured a speedy recovery here.
And the rain has really started coming down even harder, Carl. It was coming down pretty good before, but it is really coming down, and that is why the Ruston game was actually pushed back until tomorrow. Carl, we did have the development last week where it was announced that Westchester East and Westchester Henderson will be joining the Chessmont American Division. That's going to lead to all the Chessmont teams in the National Division. They're going to have to be looking for some extra, or actually all Chessmont just having to try and find some extra games to schedule. There'll still be some of those matchups. I believe Westchester East and Westchester Henderson will still be playing Coatesville next season. So if they were looking to avoid having to play the bigger schools, they still got Coatesville next year, but they avoid the Downtowns. I believe I saw something saying that Downingtown West and Henderson had played each other over 100 consecutive times. So that matchup won't be occurring next year. And I understand why they did it in some regard, because if you look at the scores between Downingtown East, Downingtown West, and Coatesville with the smaller schools, they've really not been close the last couple of years, but you hate to see some of those rivalries go away.
Right.
My dad and I, Mike Dunn, who has broadcasted games for us here on ChessmontFootball.com and is still doing great work with the company. When he taught at Henderson, we had a fun little rivalry since I'm a Downingtown West grad. So it's kind of a shame to see those teams not play each other. They did what they felt was right for their school, but that is going to have some major repercussions for all the schools. I did see a tweet from Pete DiGiovanni today from PA Prep Live saying that there is some talk of Suburban 1, the Del Val, and Chessmont maybe merging. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. That would be very interesting. You could see some really interesting matchups. Part of the reason why Coatesville is actually the number seed that they are is because they played some of the smaller schools. I was talking with the PA announcer for Coatesville last week, Scott Kershey, and he said there was actually some talk that even if North Penn had lost a game, they still could have been ranked ahead of Coatesville just because they play all big schools, all 6A schools. The winner of tonight's game, Carl, they're not going to have an easy matchup coming up. I believe they play the winner of the Garnet Valley Quakertown game.
That's correct, Mikey.
And last we saw, that game was tied. You got to broadcast the great game last year where it was Coatesville defeating Garnet Valley on a exciting interception at the end of the game. So if those two teams played each other again, you know Garnet Valley's going to be wanting to look for revenge. But you have Coatesville, they're wanting to get revenge for last year when they fell to St. Joe's Prep in a game that they led by double digits in that game.
I don't want to interrupt you, Mikey, but all the Coatesville players are now going to come around to wish their fallen player well.
That's a great sign of what it means to be a teammate, Carl.
Yeah, the support of the Coatesville team is good to see. Fortunately, we do not know who the player is, but we wish him well and a speedy recovery.
Carl, to update score for the one of the other Chessmont games, it is Downingtown West trailing Truman 14-0. Now it is still Downingtown West going with Wetzel at quarterback, who I believe is the third string quarterback. So it is 14-0 Truman in that game. Neshaminy actually leading North Penn right now. That would be a stunning upset as they are the 8th seed. As Carl, we do see the injured player being taken off the field on a stretcher. Again, we do not know who the player is. You can see some of the Downingtown East players applauding. That's a great sign of sportsmanship as well. So we are looking like we're going to get back underway here very shortly. I do believe it was one of the linemen for Coatesville. Still do not have a number.
Players are going to have a little bit of time to warm up here, Mikey. It's been a nice long delay. I did not count the time, but I'm thinking 15, 20 minutes, Mikey.
Yeah, that is, I believe, the longest injury delay we've had just in my years of doing the games for whether it be 3CTV Live or ChessmontFootball.com. Sardella Eye Associates has been providing the very best in eye care to families in Chester County for over 20 years. Sardella Eye Associates provide comprehensive eye exams, treatment and management of eye disorders, dry eye therapy, eyeglasses, contact lenses, and more. Go see them at their conveniently located offices at 1810 East Lincoln Highway in Coatesville, or give them a call at 610-466-9909. That's Sardella Eye Associates. I'm curious to see how long of a warm-up they're going to get to have, Carl, because this is not a regular situation. I don't know if they have a built-in rule saying how much time, or if it's just kind of at the discretion of the officials. Did they give them 5 minutes? Is it 10 minutes?
I believe it's at the discretion of the officials. Don't know for sure, but that would seem to make sense.
Wouldn't be surprised if it was only 5 to 7 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
Remember a couple years back when we had the Super Bowl that had the delay due to the power outage, when it was, I believe it was the Ravens and the Niners, when it was the Harbaugh brothers against each other, when that was, I believe, at the Superdome. And you see the Downingtown East players, they're gathering back up, so I guess they're done with their warm-up. I don't know if they were told, hey, time to wrap it up, or if they just did what they felt like. They said, hey, well, let's finish up.
Sure, they were given a certain time. I think the referees are now indicating that it's time to play some football.
I just saw the white hat give the hey, let's go signal as the Cougars are running back to their sideline. The Red Raiders looking as though they're doing one last little sprint to the end zone. They're going to gather up, get themselves fired up again, and they'll be ready to go. It'll be Coatesville kicking off to Downingtown East after we had the Bryant touchdown.
Coach Ortega, Mikey, I'm just noticing he does not care about wearing any garment over his head. He is drenched. It doesn't seem to bother him at all. And he's an amazing guy. So it looks like we're going to play some football here, Mikey, in a minute as we get Coatesville ready to kick off to Downingtown East. Of course, they had a great opportunity, Mikey, on their first drive as they had the ball deep in Coatesville territory on a 1st and 10, and 4 run plays were only able to get basically 8 yards and had to give the ball up, and that's how Coatesville scored. So already, the run game, which we talked about, which has to be successful, was not successful in a key spot early in the game.
There's a short kick, and there's going to be the return man hit right away.
Actually pretty successful. It was so high up that the Coatesville team was able to get under it and tackle him immediately. Looks like at the 31-yard line. Actually, it looks like the 29, Mikey.
First and 10, ball on the 29. Oh, bad snap. Davis able to get control of it. He throws it up, and it is incomplete. Carl, it's a good job being able to pick up that ball. Sometimes you see players just fall on it, trying to get possession, but that's even worse when it's wet out because the ball can slide out, but a high snap.
Luke did a good job knowing what to do, getting out of the pocket and pretty much throwing it away there, but it turned a disaster into a 2nd and 10.
Carl, we had a Coatesville fan tweet us at the Chestmont football account. Coatesville beating Downingtown East and the refs tonight. Clearly not a fan of the calls that they've been called for this evening. Pass is incomplete. It was there. It was a tough diving catch trying to be made by Albert Choi. Incomplete. They had a chance there, Carl.
A chance, but Aaron Young was on there, Mikey, and he pretty much had him covered. Would have taken a perfect throw and catch there. But that's what they have to do. They need big plays like that, Mikey.
But now they have a 3rd and 10. They don't want to give the ball back to Coatesville. Davis rolls out. He's trying to take it himself, get whatever yards he can. He's not going to have enough for the first down. So they're going to have to punt, Carl.
Yeah, difficult situation for them in that situation to get a first down. Looks like he got about 5 yards.
You have the Coatesville coaches calling for coordinators up here. They're screaming to get a timeout because they did not like something about the personnel. It looks like they were late getting the players on and off the field, and they're screaming, call timeout. They did get the timeout, but they were adamant that their players were not ready.
Right. Now, why did they need the timeout there, Mikey, on that call?
I don't know if they maybe they didn't have enough personnel out there. They were afraid there was going to be a fake since it was 4th and 4, or maybe they had too many people on the field. They were afraid to get a penalty because it's 4th and 4, so too many men on the field would have been a first down. So
right.
Good job by the coaching staff in the booth saying, hey, we need this timeout. You never want to give a first down because of a penalty.
No, that's always a disaster.
Fourth and 4 ball on the 35. And the ball bounces out of bounds. Coatesville's going to have good field position as they are going to try to add to their lead. They lead 7-0 with 5:09 to go here in the first quarter. It's the Chestmont Game of the Week on ChestmontFootball.com. The Chestmont Game of the Week is presented by the Sunoco Pipeline. The Sunoco Pipeline and Energy Transfer Partnership. Carl, also the Chestmont Game of the Week is produced by 3CTVLive.com. If there's a live event going on in Chester County, 3CTV Live will take you there. Ortega takes himself up the middle. He's got room to run. He's got a first down. I don't know if that was supposed to be an option and he just saw the running room, if it was all supposed to be Ortega the whole time. Either way, it's a first down for Coatesville as they run the hurry up. Young with the carry. He's going to be stopped for a loss of 1. Did the ball come out, Carl?
Yes.
And it did. I don't think we've seen Young fumble all season in the games we've done. We did say the wet conditions. Is that going to lead to some turnovers? Nice job by the Downingtown East defense. That's 2 turnovers against a Coatesville team that does not turn it over much at all. Did he ever actually have possession? I don't know if it was a Young fumble, if that was an issue on the exchange. That is a reverse flea flicker to Davis, and it is almost intercepted. It was a handoff, then a reverse, then a flea flicker. They tried to get it to Davis.
And Charles Brown, Mikey, could have made the interception here, but he just batted the ball down. And, but that's still a good play by him.
We talked about it after the score, saying was Downingtown East going to run a trick play on the offensive drive following that touchdown one. Then they went ahead and tried one there, but the ball hung up there way too long.
Way too long, correct, Mike. I was just going to say that. And that's why it wasn't executed. Oh, fumble, and this time he has to drop on it.
Carl, the weather really playing into this game now. We didn't see that much last week in the game against Central Bucks East.
Yeah, but it's taken its toll on both teams. Coatesville with 2 turnovers and East having trouble handling the ball. Trying a trick play like that on this kind of a condition, it's very difficult, Mikey, even though the play was executed pretty well.
But I think you might also be hoping, since you're catching another team off guard, do they slip when they try and react to that?
Right, that can happen too.
3rd and 16. And not even getting back to the original line of scrimmage was Davis. So that's two turnovers by the Cougar defense, and they've not been able to do anything offensively. I was listening to a sports talk show today. They were talking about the NFL, and they said there's a couple teams where the Patriots, I'll talk about it, I'll finish that point after this punt, and not a good punt at all, Carl. And it actually goes right out of bounds, so there's not even a chance for a good bounce for the Cougars. So Coatesville, yes, they turned it over, but the defense comes up big again. But to finish that point, they were saying if you're going against the Patriots, the Saints, the Chiefs, the Rams, you pretty much have to score on all of your offensive possessions because your opponent's going to score every time. And Downtown East has been able to force 2 turnovers, but they've done nothing offensively. 1st and 10, ball in the 35. Ortega takes it himself. Going to take it up to the 39.
39-yard line. Mikey tackled by Nico Lemke.
What more can you ask of the defense? I mean, yes, you would have liked them to have gotten a stop on 3rd and long, but they forced 2 turnovers.
Yeah, they're playing with some heart out there. Again, Coatesville speed's always a problem. But you can't say they're not giving a great effort here.
Young takes it into Cougar territory.
That time the offensive line did a good job, Mikey, at the initial spot. And that's always dangerous because then you're leaving Aaron Young in the open field where he is really hard to bring down. Big run getting to the 41-yard line of Downingtown East.
First and 10, ball on the 41. .225 to go here in the first quarter. A little pressure in the face of Ortega. He's hit after he throws, but they deemed it to be close enough to when it was thrown, but they're rolling that an incomplete pass.
Didn't get 1 foot in there, Mikey.
Bryant tried to stay in bounds, unable to do so.
Ortega was under a lot of pressure as he got rid of the ball. Just a little bit too outside there for the receiver to bring it in.
2nd and 10, ball on the 41. Ortega takes himself up the middle. It is a tackle by Stanley Bryant again, Carl. Been very impressed with him tonight.
Stanley Bryant and Nico Lemke, doing a great job in the middle there in the linebacking group.
Third and 6, ball on the 37, 1:45 to go here in the first quarter. Ortega rolls out, trying to make some Cougars miss. He just throws it up out of bounds. Last time he just threw it up and it was an interception.
Right, well, this time he made the right play, Mikey.
Threw it out of bounds.
Right, but he used his athletic ability to get away from that rush. Very rarely does he ever get tackled for a loss on a play like that.
Coatesville is going to have to punt. It's Nick Thompson in the punt.
Who, Mikey? There's a punt. They have a punter?
Yes, that's something we've seen much this year from Coatesville.
Correct. Very little punting.
So the Downingtown East defense, except for one big play on a 3rd and long, they've come up very strong tonight.
They have.
You
so far,
you could
first
say
quarter.
Coatesville's had some trouble due to the rain and some drop passes, but a fair catch called for by the Cougars. This is going to be their worst field position tonight, but can they actually maybe have their best offensive drive following this?
Well, they really have to get something going, Mikey. They have no first downs, correct? They have not completed
They have not gotten a first down. That is correct,
No.
Carl. Are you in the market for a new home or have a house to sell? Contact Kim Moralia, Real Estate with Kim Passion. As a lifelong resident of the area, her expertise is focused in Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware counties. For 15 years, Kim's passion as a realtor, her passion for helping her clients reach their goals always shines through, whether you're buying or selling your home. Kim is an award-winning realtor with Caldwell Banker Preferred in Exton. Check out our website at kimsellsthesuburbs.com at 484-368-9450. That's Kim Moralia, real estate with Kim Passion.
John is saying on a 3-yard run there, 2nd and 7, Mikey.
That's Davis on the run. He's got a first down. Hard to bring down on that play was Davis.
Good job by Davis, and they have their first down. First down of the game with 50 seconds to go in the first quarter. They are using that hurry-up offense, Mikey. Coatesville doing a good job.
Another run up the middle. It's Jonathan with the run.
Mikey, that running off tackle, they've got to do a better job of creating some space for their two dynamic running backs.
Yeah, trying to run to the outside is really tough with the Coatesville speed, so you're thinking maybe you can out-physical them, but you got to give them space.
Correct.
They have two talented runners, but even the best running back, if they're getting hit right away or don't have any room, it's going to be tough. Davis rolls out, trying to find somebody. Pass is complete to Choi. Looked as though Davis saw him, didn't like it because the coverage was there, but he was about to get sacked, so he completes the pass. It's going to bring up a manageable 3rd down, but that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. It's the Coatesville Red Raiders 7, the Downingtown East Cougars nothing. It's the Chesmont Game of the Week playoff edition on ChesmontFootball.com. Carl, it's 3rd and 3 for the Cougars. Their defense has done a great job, Carl. They forced 2 turnovers. They have gotten the offense great field position. The offense really needs to return the favor to them because, yes, while they have gotten first down, you don't want to say the defense needs the rest because we had that long injury delay, but still they're going to start getting beat up if they have to keep being on the field.
Yeah, they're not a big play team, so they've got to get that running game going. That would also keep Coatesville off the field and keep the game close. Technically, you would have to say that they had a successful first quarter, Mikey, given the fact that Coatesville usually is up 21-0 on most teams after the first quarter. But they want to win this game. They don't want to keep it close. So,
Carl, North Penn now leading Neshaminy 7-6. It's another run up the gut. As
looks to be a little short, Mikey.
We have the first down marker is right on the 45. I am seated at the 44, and that is right where they've placed that ball.
I can't believe they would punt here.
Davis is right near the sideline. I don't know if he's trying to get the play call or.
He is. They're going to go for it.
Did they try and draw him off sides though, Carl? They haven't called any timeouts yet in this game.
Let's see.
Or did they just go for it? They went for a 4th down earlier and didn't get it.
Maybe a quarterback sneak.
They are going for it. And Carl, it is a loss of yards. Coatesville's defense gets the stop. Gutsy call by Coach Matta going for the 4th down on his own side of the field in a 7-0 game. But he's thinking, look, we need some big plays.
Well, they didn't get it, Mikey. They have been unsuccessful running up the middle of the field, Mikey. I would say they have like 6 carries for 6 yards, if that. Their longest run may be it was Luke Davis, right? But that, John Satan, haven't got anything yet.
Young on the carry.
There's
going to be a hold, Carl. He's going to go in for the score, but that's going to come back. As we have a Coatesville coach furious about the hold. And I believe that's going to be on a wide receiver again. That would be the 3rd hold on a wide receiver, not something you see very often.
The Coatesville people are not happy, but we have another Another big penalty on Coatesville that would have been a touchdown for Aaron Young. Anytime you see Aaron Young on the sideline with space, there is no way you're going to stop him.
1st and 16, ball on the 50. Ortega, he has room to run. He takes it back to the outside. He's still going inside the 30, the 20, inside the 10, and he's going to go in for the score. 50-yard touchdown run, but there's another hold, Carl. Or another flag, I should say.
Well, let's see who this is on, Mikey, because it's not in the backfield.
And the Coatesville faithful are not happy.
That's unbelievable. 2 touchdowns called back on the same drive.
We're waiting the call, but I do believe it's going to be a hold. And it is another hold. But they don't lose any yards on that penalty, Carl, because it's the spot of the foul.
Oh, okay. I haven't gotten used to that yet, Mikey.
It's the option. Goes to Young. He's got room to run, and he's got a first down, Carl.
Where's the flag?
They're calling for a flag up here just because they've seen it on 2 straight plays. But Aaron Young with a great run. Again, using his speed. Just a really tough team to stop. So far, Downingtown East doing an admirable job, but you can't win if you can't score against Coatesville.
Ortega takes it himself. Takes it to the outside. He's going to be tripped up. Carl, how often do you see that many holding calls on wide receivers? You might see it once in a game, not 3 times in a half, and we're 10-15 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, very, very unusual. Lots of penalties, lots of turnovers, and Coatesville still up 7-0, getting ready to bring it in again for another touchdown.
The Cougar defense hoping that's not the case. As you have Frankie Sherman going in for the touchdown. 28-yard touchdown reception. What an effort by Frankie Sherman. And Carl, for our listeners hearing that cheering in the background, that's the press box here, and some of the coordinators, they are fired up as they had 2 touchdowns called back on that drive.
Yeah, a great run after the catch there, Mikey, on front by Frankie Sherman. He really lost his balance, looked like he was going down, somehow stayed on his feet and brought it into the end zone. Just a great play by him. And just like I said, Coatesville was going in for a score, and they did.
Highlands extra point is up, and it is good. Coatesville leads 14-0 with 9:51 to go here in the second quarter. We'll be back after this word from the Sunoco Pipeline.
America's oil and gas moves through 2.4 million miles of underground pipelines safely. But what if those pipelines were gone? We would need 90,000 more tanker trucks or 27,000 more rail cars every single day just to meet our energy needs. So, do you want this, or this? We move America's energy. We are Sunoco Pipeline.
We are back at Red Raiders Stadium as the Coatesville Red Raiders have just added to their lead 14-0 after a great effort by Frankie Sherman, just willing his way into the end zone. Carl, Truman leads Downingtown West 14-0. They only had 9 offensive plays.
Truman?
Yes.
Wow.
Makes me think that Downtown West just had a lot of ball control, but they just couldn't put it in. the Downingtown East offense has to get something going, Carl.
Yeah, very, very little offense so far.
They put the ball in their playmakers' hands on 4th and 1s, but they couldn't do anything. Oh, Hamilton drops that ball, and now he's just got to get whatever yardage he can. Carl, we said starting off at around the 19 was their worst field position. Now they're going to start with this drive. Got to see where the spot
12.
is. They marking that at the 12?
Yeah. Going right through his hands. I'm sure the rain had something to do with that too, Mikey. You're looking up into the sky and all you see is rain, and then a football's coming down at you.
They actually spotted at the 13, Carl.
Yeah.
It is another Cougar run up the middle. It is another good job by the Coatesville defense as John Saint not been able to find any room to run. As you said, Davis with the best run of the night. Play action pass. Pass is intercepted by Dupree Bryant. He's still going on the return inside the 20. Great block inside the 10. Carl, the coverage was right there, and it was thrown high. And also, Carl, again, we get the benefit of being in the box sometimes with the coordinators. You could hear before that play the coaching staff for Coatesville saying, oh, they're passing. That's a pass. The coverage was right there.
It was overthrown, and Chris Dupree's going to catch it. He's a wide receiver playing defensive back. Mine's a little bit of Aaron Young's brother, huh? Playing that position with that speed. And then, of course, he can run the ball. He gets all the way down to the 10.
Young with the run. There is a penalty. I believe that time, Carl, it's going to be on the Cougars.
I believe that we have a face mask there, Mikey.
And it is a face mask against Downingtown East. And a Bronx cheer by the Coatesville faithful.
Some of the coaches putting the fans, trying to get the fans' reaction. Half the distance to the goal there, Mikey. 1st and goal at the 5. Let's see who gets the touchdown here. Wildcat, Aaron Young.
He's inside the 5, down to, they spot him at the 2. It's the 1.5, I guess?
Yeah, closer to the 2.
Second and goal. Coatesville trying to make it a 3-score game. It's a toss to Young. And he takes it in for the 2-yard touchdown run. Coatesville adds to their lead after the interception. Carl, Coatesville has first 1 turnover. They have a touchdown. Downingtown East's first 2 turnovers. They have none.
Yeah, all the things we talked about in the beginning of the game coming true here is, the teams just can't keep up with Coatesville's attack, and you turn the ball over and you're going to get scored upon right away.
Extra point is up, and it is good. Highland stays true with this kicking tonight. 21-0, Coatesville leads. We'll be back after this word from Washington Hose Company, number 1.
The Washington Hose Company is located at 376 East Lincoln Highway, serving the city of Coatesville and the surrounding communities for almost 150 years. Our dedicated EMS staff of volunteer and career are proud to provide EMS services 24/7, 365 days a year. WHC offers first aid, CPR AD, babysitting, and several other training for first aid and certification classes. To take a class or volunteer, please contact us at 610-384-6464. Be safe.
In Coatesville, Pennsylvania, as the Red Raiders have just added to their lead. They lead the Cougars 21-0. And Carl, when your offense can't score and you're going up against a offense that is this strong, what are you going to do? I mean, you don't have a chance. Your offense has to produce. Your defense forced 2 turnovers. And it's issues on the kickoff again. This time it's Choi. The second drop kickoff in a row. And now they're going to start off inside their 10.
Coach Ortega was excited about that, Mike. He was cheering and moving his arms. Very, very excited about that turn of events. As it's the second kickoff in a row that's been dropped. They start out at their own 8-yard line. They started on the 13, and now they're 8. And they, what do? They can't turn the ball over. This game will be over.
Pass is complete. That is to Choi.
Actually, a good, very nice play there, Mikey. Is Choi on an out route. Gets a nice gain for them. Going to make it first down there. Now let's call it a 9-yard gain there. Mikey going to be 2nd and 1.
Nice job there by the Coatesville D. That's Tion Holmes.
And there's a Tion Holmes, nice tackle. There's a tackle on the play.
We have another penalty flag. And it is holding against the Cougars. Carl, we saw this in the first matchup. It was Downingtown East strong in the first quarter. Then it was some punting issues, some fumbles. Tonight, Downingtown East looking pretty strong in the first quarter. Now they have a turnover. They have 2 kicks in a row where they've dropped the kick. Now they're getting penalties. And it's when they're trailing by 21. We say you need to play the perfect game against Coatesville. They're doing far from that right now. Pass is complete to Connor Noble.
First time we've heard Connor's number called tonight.
Another flag. That was.
That's going to be on.
You know what? You know what? No, I believe that's a sideline warning.
Oh, sideline warning. Okay.
You get one of those. They still throw the flag, but you get one.
Okay, very good.
And you have the official talking to one of the Coatesville coaches
Coach
now.
Ortega he's talking to, Mikey. I'm sure they'll pull back now. So they don't want any more penalties.
You get a warning. Run up the middle. The Coatesville defense. There's 5 or 6 players there.
Yeah, I just don't get that. It's like, that play just was not going to work. They haven't been successful on it all night. And now Coatesville's going to get great field position, and you got Bryant back with Aaron Young. And if they get a hold of this ball with any space, look out.
Better punt this time, but it's still going to be great field position for the Red Raiders. It even takes a Cougar bounce, but Coatesville still going to start out on the Downingtown East side of the field. It's going to be 1st and 10, ball on the Cougar 49. Carl, Coatesville would love nothing more than to get another touchdown here and start thinking about having another fourth quarter where their starters could be out of the game. We already saw one serious injury tonight. They will have, barring a great comeback by the Cougars, they're going to have a matchup, it looks like, against Garnet Valley next week, the way that game is going. Can the Cougar defense get another turnover, maybe return it for a touchdown? Or can the Cougar offense get things going? They need to get a stop here, though. the defense does to get their offense a chance. Ball is thrown up, and it is incomplete, Carl. That really should have been intercepted, but Bryant still almost came down with that ball.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 against 1, and the 1 is the one that was the only one that was going to catch that ball, and that was Dupree Bryant. And I tell you what, that would have been exciting if he came down with that one, especially in this pouring rain too. Nice throw by Ortega there, Mikey.
Trouble on the snap. Ortega completes his pass to a wide open Bryant, who doubles back, makes a man miss, and he's still going inside the 10, lowers his head, and he's in for the touchdown. 49-yard touchdown reception. The runs after the catch by this Red Raider team, Carl. Wow.
Sensational. Like you said, run after the catch. It just doesn't matter who's in his way. He goes around them, or, you know, whatever he has to do. It's like a foregone conclusion that he's going to get into the end zone. There's not like any doubt about it, and yet there's all these guys trying to tackle him. Just a great play by Dupree Bryant.
Extra point by Highland is up. It is good. 28-0. Coatesville leads Downingtown East with 6:56 to go in the first half.
Been a great second quarter for Coatesville. Is everything that didn't happen in the first quarter, it certainly happened, and they look like their old Coatesville team that's been dominating games all season long.
Now, the penalties and the turnovers they had, now you could say some of the turnovers might have to be because of the rain, but those are the things that Coach Ortega is going to need to work with the Red Raiders on going forward in the playoffs. You can't go up against a Garnet Valley, a North Penn, a St. Joe's Prep, and make those mistakes. But hey, survive and advance.
Still 6:56 to go in this second quarter. And we could be at the mercy roll by halftime. The way it's going, Downingtown has no answer for this great Coatesville team.
They didn't have trouble catching it that time, Carl.
Good job by Choi, and a nice run back as he gets it all the way up to the 34-yard line. Where Downingtown will try again to do something to get. They have, I believe, 1 or 2 first downs in this game, Mikey. That's about it. Luke Davis's run. I'm trying to think if they got another one.
Davis takes it himself. Pick up a call at 2.
Yeah, if this team, they've been successful against the weaker teams in Chestmont, running the football, overpowering teams. Can't do it against Coatesville. They do not have a great passing game. Really puts them behind an 8 ball when they fall behind. Sure, that happened against Downingtown West also, Mikey.
Pass is thrown up and incomplete, but Carl, ball was put high, but the coverage was good. So
yeah, it was kind of almost like a basketball play there, Mikey, where they threw it up and the basket would be right behind them, and it was like an alley-oop type of pass. Charles Brown jumped up in the air and kind of blocked it from getting out. Charles Brown actually going off the field now. Yeah, it looks like he got poked in the eye there, Mikey. There's something's in his eye. Of course, it could be rain.
Yeah, it's really coming down, Carl.
Yeah.
Davis throws it up, and it is underthrown this time. His receiver had a couple steps.
He did. It could have been a big play for them. Of course, if he threw it any more under, it could have been an interception. But, again, Downingtown will have to punt the football. Again, no time coming off the clock, Mikey, because they're throwing it, not running it.
Score updates: North Penn leads at the half, 7-6 over to Chamonix. Downingtown West down 14-0 to Harry S. Truman at the half. Garnet Valley leading 35-14 over Quakertown. More punting issues, Carl, as Downingtown East cannot get it going offensively. Coatesville keeps getting great field position as they look to add to their lead. Unionville tied 7-7 with Radnor at the half. That's a surprising score. Radnor, the 3 seed. Unionville went far in the playoffs last year, but this year they've really struggled to get it going offensively, but still very strong defensively. First and 10, ball on the 48. Young on the run. Carl, it's another big run for Aaron Young. Taking it down to the Cougar 35.
Stephen Long there saving a touchdown, Mikey.
17-yard run, Carl. Looks like it's an option. No. Ortega keeps it himself, does not pitch it out, but he takes it down to the 29.
Spencer Uglow on the tackle there. But a good gain, good first down gain for Coatesville. Who's going to make a play this time, Mikey? We've had Frankie Sherman, Aaron Young, Dupree Bryant's made 2 great plays.
Well, Ortega had a touchdown called back. He'd love to get on the scoring. Young with the run. Just the way he moves, another Coatesville first down. He's got speed, he's got power. He is going to give Big Ten defenses nightmares when he plays for Michigan State.
Can't wait to see him play in college, Mikey. Really going to be looking forward to watching Michigan State games in the next 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be redshirt or if he's going to start right off the bat, but very impressive. First and 10, ball on the 16. They throw it up to Bryant. It is incomplete as they were arm fighting, so good job with the no call there, Carl. But, hey, I would take Dupree Bryant over most cornerbacks, and that was a nice job there by the corner.
Ethan Waldbusser. I haven't heard his name called, but he did an excellent job on that. Good job by Ethan.
Second and 10. Toss out to Young. There's some Cougars there, but can they get to the edge? They force him out of bounds.
They actually were really ready for that, Mikey, and they got so far outside that Aaron could not cut back or he could not get to the sideline first.
Going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. Carl, do they maybe try and go to Miller, or is it going to be? No, it's a run by Ortega.
Nice tackle there. 44, Mikey. Kyle Egan make the touchdown saving tackle there. And let's see what Coatesville's going to do.
It's 4th down. Do they do the kick? Do they just try and go for it, put the final nail in the coffin? Do they let the clock run down, call timeout?
Well, they have timeouts. They could do that, and they're probably going to call a timeout here, Mikey.
Yeah, Ortega, Ricky Ortega is standing there right next to the official. They're going to call the timeout.
Yeah.
There's 1 second left on the play clock. Ortega calls the timeout. Their second of the half. Coatesville leads 28-0. You know what that means, folks. Mention this ad tomorrow only if Coatesville gets the win. At Coatesville Flower Shop, buy 1 dozen roses, get 1 dozen roses free. The Coatesville Flower Shop is 70 years old and still going strong. This family-owned business is located at the corner of 3rd Avenue and East Lincoln Highway in Coatesville. Whatever the occasion, you can rely on their years of experience for expert advice and designs. And they've been named one of FTD's top 200 florists in the nation for 10 consecutive years, with 4 generations of the DePedro family working there. They're happy to go the extra mile to meet your needs, and they deliver. Call them at 610-384-2677. Again, mention this ad tomorrow coupled with a Red Raider win in tonight's game, and you can buy 1 dozen roses, get 1 dozen roses free. Carl, a couple years ago when I proposed to my then girlfriend, I went through like an online company. I believe it was 1-800-Flowers. Said what I wanted. They, I guess, farm out those orders to another company. Well, they miscommunicated to the flower shop what I wanted. And I went to Coatesville Flower Shop and say, hey, this is what I really wanted. They just had great service and said, hey, we're sorry there was a miscommunication. Here's what we'll do. They gave me a nice custom design. They did a great job. So I have great appreciation for them there because, hey, the proposal went well. But they're great there. I now know don't go through a 1-800-Flowers. Go to Coatesville Flower Shop. Get great service, great flowers. It's a penalty on Coatesville, which now leads to a field goal attempt by Highland. He is one of the better kickers we've seen in our years doing Chestnut football. Extra point is up, and it is good. 31-yard field goal for Highland. Carl, what is the weakness for this team in the kicking game? Highland, when it's regular conditions, can kick it in the end zone consistently. When it's the return game, you have Young and you have Bryant returning kicks and punts. They're good on field goals, good on extra points. The defense has speed and power. The offense has speed and great hands.
24 points already in this second quarter, Mikey. Still 3:51 to go. Which means if Downingtown goes 3 and out, Coatesville will get one more chance in this second quarter to put more points up on the board. All year, Mikey, Coatesville's dominated every game they've played in. Never a close game. And this will be the same as their starters will trickle out in the third and fourth quarters of this game.
It is Hamilton on the return. Downingtown East looking to get on the board. They trail 31-0 with 3:43 to go here in the first half. It's the Chestnut Game of the Week, produced by 3ctvlive.com. If there's a live event going on in Chester County, 3CTV Live will take you there. That's a run by Jonathan. He's yet to get going tonight, Carl.
Yeah, actually, one of his better runs, which is probably about 3 yards here, Mikey. Actually going to give him 4, which would be his best run of the night. Be very interesting to see how Coatesville does in the playoffs, in the semifinals next week, as they start to face better competition.
Oh. What a hit, and getting fired up was Nick Thompson.
Nick Thompson, great tackle. It's always fun to come in and make that kind of tackle.
Yeah, you don't see big hits as much as you used to with them really changing the safety of the game, but that was a perfectly legal hit, textbook tackle.
Yep. Wrapped him up.
Third and 9. Davis throws it earlier than the intended target was expecting. That was intended for Choi.
Yeah, that was it was actually a pretty good play, considering the rush was right there. He had to get rid of the ball when he did.
Looked like Choi kind of maybe turned around a second or two
it just
late.
missed. It just missed. The execution was almost there. But
Coatesville
again,
going to have plenty of time to try and add to their lead. Best Cougar punt of the night.
Great job.
That's Bryant on the return. Carl, I thought I saw Young looking like maybe he was signaling for a fair catch, but then Bryant caught it.
But you got to give him credit for on the run in this rain to have the cojones, Mikey, to grow and grab that ball and run like it's like nothing's like the weather had nothing to do with it. It's just an amazing play, tremendous athletic play by Dupree Bryant. He was my star of the game here tonight, Mikey.
1st and 10, ball on the 17. Ortega takes himself. Ortega's the only one who hasn't gotten in on the scoring because his was called back. Takes it down to the 15, pickup of 2. Want to give a shout out to Jack's Pizza. That's right, Jack's Pizza, located at 1948 East Lincoln Highway in Coatesville. They're providing the halftime meal for the ChestmontFootball.com crew. We got to give them a call at 610-384-1000. That's Jack's Pizza. Ortega takes it himself again, and he's going to go in for the score. 15-yard touchdown run, Ricky Ortega. Carl, we said we knew he was going to want to get on the scoring. This game, Carl, was so close in the first quarter, just like the last matchup. But as you said, this has been a phenomenal second quarter for Coatesville. Extra point is up, and it is good. 38-0, Coatesville leads. You could hear some of the Coatesville student section chanting, "Start the buses."
Yeah, it's a. Let me see. We saw the prediction today that you sent me, Mike. I think there was 50. Do you have that? 56 to 50?
Yeah, it was. I believe it was a prediction from ChestmontSports.com, not associated with us at ChestmontFootball.com. They said that Matt Ortega will earn his 100th career win as Coatesville will win 56-14.
Well, that's very possible. Of course, I'm wondering how Downingtown East scored 14, but they may do it with the Coatesville second teamers in there.
Well, when you're as we said, if you get down, it's tough when you're a running team to really get back in the game. We've seen them try to throw, but Coatesville has great defensive backs. Just their talented wide receiver, talented running back there. Choi on the return. He tried to do a spin, and Carl, a ref that was so far away from the play just threw a flag. All the action was around the 20. The ref was standing on the Coatesville, I'd say, 47, and he threw a flag. I'm really curious to see what he saw, unless there was such a blatant block from the back or it's hands to the face. I believe it was, I want to say the last 3 penalties have been against Downingtown East. It's all going bad right now for them, Carl.
Well, we got to get the half almost over with, Mikey, because I'm running out of my second quarter scoring sheet. I only have one more space to go here.
Carl, you always need to have your final game happen, but this is the final game for Albert Choi, Jack Riley, Garvey Jonathan, Luke Davis, Zach Hamilton. Run up the middle, pickup of 1. It's Hamilton on the carry.
It's hard to believe, Mikey, with Hamilton and Jonathan have 2,400 yards between them. And tonight, they're lucky if they have 20 between the two of them.
Yeah, Downingtown East probably doesn't even have 50 total yards passing or running combined.
Total domination. The only reason that the score is not worse is the 2 turnovers by Coatesville in the first quarter.
And the one we think was on an exchange. And there's trouble with Davis taking the snap as he drops it.
And from the reaction, it looks like they recovered the ball, Mikey.
Usually you'd see the defense pointing, we got the ball.
Correct.
But it's a 3rd and 9.
With Coatesville already with the 38-0 lead, there's no reason to stop the clock.
No.
We'll We'll start out the second half in the mercy rule, correct?
Correct, which is if a team leads by 35 in the second half of the game, it'll be a running clock. And even if the team that's trailing gets back within 35, it's still the mercy rule. And Carl, that's going to be the final play of the first half. It's the second seed Coatesville Red Raiders 38, Downingtown East nothing. We will be back with second half action in just a little bit. Stay tuned. I might have a dollar bill.
Here are the other scores from the 6A District 1 tournament. North Penn leads Neshaminy 7-6. Harriet Truman leads Downingtown West.
America's oil and gas moves through 2.4 million miles of underground pipelines safely. But what if those pipelines were gone? We would need 90,000 more tanker trucks or 27,000 more rail cars every single day just to meet our energy needs. So, do you want this, or this? We move America's energy. We are Sunoco Pipeline.
The Washington Hose Company is located at 376 East Lincoln Highway, serving the city of Coatesville and the surrounding communities for almost 150 years. Our dedicated EMS staff of volunteer and career are proud to provide EMS services 24/7, 365 days a year. WHC offers first aid, CPR AD, babysitting, and several other training for first aid and certification classes. To take a class or volunteer, please contact us at 610-384-6464. Be safe.
Hi, this is Andy at Chester County Transmissions. We're a full-service automotive shop here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania that also specializes in transmission and driveline repair. Just so you know, for all your automotive needs, we're here to take care of you. State inspections, whatever you need. Our number here is 610-384-2879.
Good morning, Chester County Transmissions. Rich speaking. How can I help you?
Please stop in, give us a call. God bless.
Whether looking for the best burgers in Chester County, a place to host your private event, or a relaxing place to enjoy daily food and drink specials, Beaver Creek Tavern has you covered. Serving classic American fare with gluten-free and vegetarian options available. To get the party started, go to 1350 Bondsville Road in Downingtown or call 484-593-0481. We'll see you there.
Since 1997, the James J. Terry Funeral Home has been providing meaningful and personalized funeral and cremation services in Downingtown. We've now expanded into Western Chester County and have opened our second location on Lincoln Highway in Coatesville. Let our friendly and professional staff show you the benefits of pre-planning your funeral arrangements. Pre-arranging provides your family with options ahead of time and can ease future financial burden. We'll be glad to assist you in your pre-arrangement process in the Downingtown or Coatesville location. Let the James J. Terry Funeral Home be there for you and your family in your time of need.
Big Boy's barbecue sauce is the perfect addition to your meal. It's now sold at select Walmarts and other local stores. Go to BigBoysBBQSauce.com to find a location near you.
When we build a pipeline, safety is our top priority. Our highly skilled engineers, environmental scientists, wildlife biologists, and geologists design our pipelines to follow the safest routes with the smallest environmental footprint possible. We use state-of-the-art technology and testing protocols, so we know our pipelines will operate safely for decades. America relies on energy. We get it to you safely. We are Sunoco Pipeline.
We are back live in Coatesville, Pennsylvania as the Red Raiders lead the Downingtown East Cougars by a score of 38-0. Carl, tell us how we got to this score.
Okay, Mackie, a lot going on in the first quarter, but not much scoring. We had 2 turnovers by Coatesville, only 1 first down by Downingtown East. But Coatesville finally got on the board on a 47-yard touchdown pass from Ortega to Dupree Bryant, and it was 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, all things broke loose for Coatesville as they got 31 points in the second quarter to break the game wide open. It started with a great play, Frankie Sherman 28-yard touchdown pass where he did most of the work last 10 yards by himself, breaking numerous tackles. Once looked like he was going to fall down, but still kept on his feet even though he was off balance, and ran into the end zone to make it 14-0. Then we had an interception by Luke Davis, intercepted by Dupree Bryant, running it back all the way to the 10-yard line, and that set up a 2-yard run by Aaron Young to make it 21-0. Again, Downingtown East had to punt the ball, and it came back, and this time it was Ortega to Dupree Bryant for 49 yards and a touchdown to make it 28-0. Then also, Downingtown East again had to punt the ball. Coatesville got it back. This time they were stopped. However, they did kick a 31-yard field goal by Than Highland to make it 31-0. And then towards the end of the second quarter, this time it was Ricky Ortega on a 15-yard run as he took it in to make the halftime score. Coatesville Red Raiders 38, Downingtown East Cougars 0.
And Carl, some stats that just really show why we have the score we have. Aaron Young, 11 carries, 126 yards and a touchdown. Ricky Ortega, 9 carries, 64 yards and a touchdown. He was 4 for 11 passing, 126 yards, 3 TDs and an interception. Downingtown East, 50 total yards, 1 first down.
Yeah, I told you I only remember that 1 first down because it was Luke Davis himself running it, the quarterback getting the only first down. Yeah, it's pretty much a total disaster. It could have actually been worse if the first quarter Coatesville could have got started better, but they did commit 2 turnovers. And Coatesville's just looking for tougher competition right now. They are clearly the kings of Chestnut.
Downingtown East will receive the second half kickoff. Kick is caught at the 6-yard line. It's Choi on the return. Had a good head of steam there, but Coatesville special teams, just like the offense and the defense, very strong. Carl, it was Downingtown West trailing at the half 14-0. Well, it was a 51-yard touchdown pass from Wetzel to Dan Burns. It's now 14-14 in that game.
So they got a two-point conversion probably, Mikey, then?
I believe so. I thought we heard never heard the extra point being good unless it was just a late update. That's a run up the middle by Jonathan. Carl, I believe Unionville, an interesting stat, they had 15 straight running plays for 74 yards in a drive and a touchdown to take the lead on Radnor.
Wow.
Pass is incomplete. Carl, I like that play call.
Yeah, it was a good play call. You just got to catch the football, however.
Jack O'Reilly.
That would have gotten them their second first down of the game there, Mikey. But it to no avail.
Oh, Carl, actually it is 21-7 Unionville leading Radnor. And another update, Downingtown West just took a fumble recovery in the end zone to take the lead. Pass is incomplete. It was almost intercepted, then almost caught as the diving Cougar there was Connor Noble.
See if Ricky Ortega and the crew come out for the second half at all, Mikey. I imagine that they probably will.
Yeah, a lot of times it'll be late in the third quarter if you see a change. But
right.
Another tough drive for the Cougar offense. And, yeah, Carl, we already see the backups in there just in the return game as the fair catch was made by number 87, DeMonte Reason. Carl, interesting score. We still have only a 1-point game, the North Penn to Chamonix game.
Yes, and we do have a change of quarterback, Mikey, as it's number 6. Mikey.
Eddie Easterday.
Yep, Eddie Easterday.
A running play up the middle to Demetrius McLean-Jackson.
That we saw a lot of last week, Mikey. He did get a touchdown on the their last touchdown last week. Yeah, I guess just no reason to bring out Ortega and the crew.
Yeah, we did get an update on the injured player. It was actually a broken femur to the offensive lineman that went down. Second and 6, ball on the 38. Looks like Amir Kennedy on the run, Carl.
Yes, Amir Kennedy, as he tried to battle and break tackles there.
The 5'10" running back. 3rd and 5. There's really no point to passing with the score the way it is.
Yeah, it's going to be hopefully a pretty quick rest of this game here as the clock will continue to run.
Because all that can really happen with a score like this is injuries or chippy plays. There's a handoff to Kennedy. As Coatesville is going to have to punt. And, Carl, that's how we really usually find out Coatesville has a punter. It's when the backups are in and they're just trying to run the clock out.
Right. We actually had a surprise punt in the first half. Just one, but we had one.
Although still in on special teams, as they usually call it the personal protector, is Aaron Young.
Interesting.
And we have an offsides against Downingtown East. It's actually a high snap, too. Now, it's not enough for the first down. It's going to be 4th and 1.
Yeah,
unless they're saying that he was forced, but I do believe it was the Cougar player that jumped.
They're talking about it.
And it's actually a false start, Carl. They are saying he was drawn off.
Okay.
I did not see the movement from the Red Raider, but the rest have a better view on that side of the field. That's a fantastic punt as it's caught by James Basili. And Downingtown East will try and get their first points of the game after this word from the Sunoco Pipeline.
America's oil and gas moves through 2.4 million miles of underground pipelines safely. But one of those pipelines were gone. We would need 90,000 more tanker trucks or 27,000 more rail cars every single day just to meet our energy needs. So, do you want this, or this? We move America's energy. We are Sunoco Pipeline.
And we are back as Downingtown East has first and 10 ball on their own 36 as there seems to be an official, I don't know if there was a equipment issue as we saw the ref run out on the field, and then there's some confusion there by Coatesville. Player ran on the field late. And they call a flag against Coatesville. Yeah, you could see, I believe it was Nick Thompson running on the field late.
Yeah, they were totally confused there, Mikey. As you make a lot of substitutions, some of the guys don't know exactly where to line up.
Yeah, when you have some of the backups in, you don't know who's supposed to be on the field. That leads to too many men in the field penalties. That leads to sometimes you just completely out of position. So run up the middle by Hamilton. So Downingtown East still has their starters in. A lot of these guys, they are seniors, so it's their final game.
Right, and I think that's the point, you know, that they want to go out on a positive note as much as they can.
That's going to be a first down run for the Cougars. Hamilton on the run.
It's their second first down of the game.
I think that's back-to-back tackles by John Ruttman. First and 10, ball on the 48. Coatesville with some late players moving around again. Davis drops back, throws it up for Choi, and it is almost intercepted. That's Dimir Miller.
Yeah, see.
One of the only weapons we really haven't seen score.
Right, and if you're going to take everybody out, you got to take Demir out, because otherwise that could have been a touchdown. But with Demir back there, with his speed, nothing was going to happen on that play.
And we still also see Nick Thompson in on defense. Frankie Sherman in on defense. So not all backups for the Red Raiders right now. This is the mercy rule, so we have a running clock. So we're already down to 5:25 left in the quarter. Pass is complete to Choi.
Nice catch by Choi, but unfortunately because of the way it was thrown, he had no chance to catch it and run with it. So it's a short gain.
3rd and 7. And it is a run by Jonathan. Going to bring up a 4th down. Downingtown went for several 4th downs in the first half and were not successful. One in Coatesville territory, one on their own territory.
My guy was just watching Jonathan, wasn't happy that they're punting the ball.
Down 38, they did not go for it when it was a close game. They went for it on their own side of the field.
But they'd have a shorter distance to get to gain.
Very true.
But fake.
And they're faking, and they're not going to get it. How strange to call a fake punt down by 38. Maybe they thought they'd catch him off guard. They did not. Coatesville will get the ball back after this word from Big Boys Barbecue Sauce. Big Boys Barbecue Sauce is the perfect addition to your meal. It's now sold at select Walmarts and other local stores. Go to BigBoysBBQSauce.com to find a location near you. That's a run by Demetrius McLean Jackson, not finding really any room. Pickup of 1. North Penn did get the victory tonight. They win 13-6. They are the number 1 seed, but this is back-to-back games where they have not been blowing the team out as expected.
Yes. Looking forward to a North Penn Coatesville rematch.
It does look like next week it's going to be a rematch of that great match from last year of Garnet Valley versus Coatesville. So handoff to McLean Jackson. So he's tackled just past the 50-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
You know, when Coatesville puts in their subs like this, they just look like the regular teams.
2.5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's 38-0 Coatesville. And it is McLean Jackson being tackled at the 48. Going to bring up a 4th down. Coatesville has yet to send the punter out on the field. Are they going to go for it, Carl?
I don't know. I would punt it here. They don't have much of a run game. If they're going to run it, they're probably not going to make it.
Maybe they're trying to make the backups, feel good about getting the 1st down. I don't know, but the offense is out there for 4th and 2.
McLean Jackson, not a real strong runner. I just heard a comment that he just not strong enough leg-wise.
And they call a timeout.
They're going to bring their punting team in, Mikey, I believe. It's the right decision.
Sardella Eye Associates is providing the very best in eye care to families in Chester County for over 20 years. Sardella Eye Associates provide comprehensive eye exams, treatment and management of eye disorders, dry eye therapy, eyeglasses, contact lenses, and more. Go see them at their conveniently located offices at 1810 East Lincoln Highway in Coatesville, or give them a call at 610-466-9909. That's Sardella Eye Associates.
Here's another updated score. St. Joe's Prep leads LaSalle College 17.
So we'll try and get you some more Chestmont scores. And Ruston's game has been moved to tomorrow, but Unionville and Downingtown West both in action. Fourth and 2. Ball on the 47. Coatesville is now punting. Kick by Young. Going to be caught inside the 20. That's Choi on the return. Downingtown East will start off with 1st and 10. Ball on their own 20 after this word from Chester County Transmissions.
Hi, this is Andy at Chester County Transmissions. We're a full-service automotive shop here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania that also specializes in transmission and driveline repair. Just so you know, for all your automotive needs, we're here to take care of you. State inspections, whatever you need. Our number here is 610-384-2879.
Good morning, Chester County Transmissions. Rich speaking. How can I help you?
Please stop in, give us a call. God bless.
And we are back here as Coatesville calls a timeout before the first play of the Downingtown East drive could occur. So we'll be back after this word from Beaver Creek Tavern. Whether looking for the best burgers in Chester County, a place to host your private event, or a relaxing place to enjoy daily food and drink specials, Beaver Creek Tavern has you covered. Serving classic American fare with gluten-free and vegetarian options available. To get the party started, go to 1350 Bondsville Road in Downingtown or call 484-593-0481. We'll see you there. Are you in the market for a new home or have a house to sell? Contact Kim Moralia, Real Estate with Kim Passion. As a lifelong resident of the area, her expertise is focused in Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware counties. For 15 years, Kim's passion for helping her clients reach their goals always shines through, whether you're buying or selling your home. Kim is an award-winning realtor with Caldwell Banker Preferred in Exton. Check out her website at kimsalesthesuburbs.com or give her a call at 484-368-9450. That's Kim Moralia, Real Estate with Kim Passion. That's Jonathan on the run. We're under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Pickup of 1. 2nd and 9, ball on the 21. Davis drops back, pass is complete. Gonna be a first down. Pass is complete to Jack Riley. Carl, I was wondering if maybe he had been hurt because we hadn't seen him said his name all night, and he's one of the better receivers for the Cougars.
Right. They just haven't been able to get much going tonight.
1st and 10, ball on the 33. And that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. Coatesville leads Downingtown East 38-0. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this word from the James J. Terry Funeral Home.
Since 1997, the James J. Terry Funeral Home has been providing meaningful and personalized funeral and cremation services in Downingtown. We've now expanded into Western Chester County and have opened our second location on Lincoln Highway in Coatesville. Let our friendly and professional staff show you the benefits of pre-planning your funeral arrangements. Pre-arranging provides your family with options ahead of time and can ease future financial burden. We'll be glad to assist you in your pre-arrangement process in the Downingtown or Coatesville location. Let the James J. Terry Funeral Home be there for you and your family in your time of need.
We are back live in Coatesville, Pennsylvania, as Coatesville is well on their way to a repeat matchup from their playoffs last year where they're going to take on Garnet Valley. They lead 38-0 over Downingtown East. It is Garnet Valley running away with it against Quakertown.
What's the score on that, Mikey?
Let me get you that update, Carl.
Okay.
Most recent update we have is, it's a final. It is Garnet Valley 49, Quakertown 14. 2nd and 2, ball on the 41. It's going to be a first down run, and still going into Coatesville territory is Zach Hamilton.
And you can see why Zach Hamilton is a 1,000-yard rusher this season. A very strong running back. You just have to be able to get through the initial front line, which they were unable to do tonight.
Davis pass is complete. So it is the Coatesville backups against the Downingtown East starters. Can the Cougars get their first touchdown of the game?
Look much more, again, they're playing against backups, and that makes a big difference because they've been able to handle most of Chestmont this season.
Jonathan on the run. It's going to be a first down for Downingtown East. It's a pickup of 11 there. Davis had some trouble with the snap. He's going to be tackled for a big loss.
Davis is tackled in the backfield. Number 22, Kirk, on the tackle.
Stay tuned. Post game, we're going to have Alan Foster with the Victoria's coach, Coach Ortega, who will have just gotten his 100th career win here at Coatesville. Run up the middle. We've just heard that Downingtown West is victorious over Truman.
Kicked a 39-yard field goal, I heard, Mikey. Is that the margin of victory?
Gonna try and get that update. Davis drops back. Pass is complete to Choi, who goes in for the touchdown. 26-yard touchdown pass, Davis to Choi.
Very nice pass there by Luke. Good catch by Choi. Good execution. And Downingtown is finally on the board.
Good for the seniors to be able to have a positive moment in their final game.
Number 89, midback to kick. Number 5, long on the hold.
Extra point is up, and it is good. 38-7 is your score with 9:19 to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be back after this word from the Sunoco Pipeline.
When we build a pipeline, safety is our top priority. Our highly skilled engineers, environmental scientists, wildlife biologists, and geologists design our pipelines to follow the safest routes with the smallest environmental footprint possible. We use state-of-the-art technology and testing protocols, so we know our pipelines will operate safely for decades. America relies on energy. We get it to you safely. We are Sunoco Pipeline.
We are back here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania. The Cougars have gotten on the board, but fortunately, Downingtown East is going to see their season end, or unfortunately if you're a Cougar fan. But another Downingtown team, Downingtown West, they kicked a 39-yard field goal as time expired, or at least at the very end of the game, to defeat Truman 24-22. And again, their kicker is Burns, their best receiver. So there will still be at least two 6A Chestmont teams playing. And Unionville, last we saw, was leading Radnor. So you could have three Chestmont teams still playing, then Ruston still to play tomorrow night.
Good showing by Chestmont.
Oh, wow. Unionville won 28-7. It's not a Unionville offense we've seen all season.
And what was the seedings on that, Mikey?
Unionville was the 11. Radnor was the 3. First and 10, ball on the 36. Pass is complete. It's a great run after the catch by Justin Shields.
That's Coatesville's first down, Mikey, of the second half.
Shotgun formation. Run up the middle by Demetrius McLean Jackson. Carl, Chestmont is usually considered to be one of the strongest conferences in the area, but if they have Ruston win tomorrow night to have 4 teams advance, 2 in the 6A playoffs, 2 in the 5A, really says a lot about their conference. I mean, yes, there is the movement of teams from national to America. Ball comes out. I believe that is a live ball. Did Downingtown East recover? Yes, they did. They recovered with it still in bounds. The Cougars have forced a turnover. They'll try and get their second touchdown of the game. After this word from Washington Hose Company, number 1.
The Washington Hose Company is located at 376 East Lincoln Highway, serving the city of Coatesville and the surrounding communities for almost 150 years. Our dedicated EMS staff of volunteer and career are proud to provide EMS services 24/7, 365 days a year. WHC offers first aid, CPR AD, babysitting, and several other training for first aid and certification classes. To take a class or volunteer, please contact us at 610-384-6464. Be safe.
And that's Garvey Johnson on the run. Carl, are you surprised to still see the starters in for Downingtown East?
Well, they're seniors, Mikey. They want to play, get their last hurrah for their season.
Sometimes you might see a senior, at least in college, run off the field after doing a play to get an ovation from their fans or from their teammates. Maybe they'll do that, but it appears they're still going to keep going on this drive. John Saint with what looks like a first down run, and it is.
Downingtown East is number 1, clearly better than Coatesville's number 2. I'm not sure what that proves, but at least, you can kind of see what they can do against opponents that they're superior to. I'd like to see Luke Davis air it out again, Mikey.
Davis rolls out. Pass is overthrown. It's not even close there, Carl.
Nah, he just shot put it that way too high. Also off balance there when he threw it.
It is the mercy rule, so the clock is still running. Another run for the Cougars. It's Hamilton. Third and 7. Davis throws it up, and it is caught for a touchdown by Jack Riley. The second Cougar touchdown of the game. Nice throw, nice catch. It is the starters versus the backups, but it's still a nice throw. Extra point is up, and it is no good. 38-13 is your score with 4:46 to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll be back after this word from Chester County Transmissions.
Hi, this is Andy at Chester County Transmissions. We're a full-service automotive shop here in Coatesville, Pennsylvania that also specializes in transmission and driveline repair. Just so you know, for all your automotive needs, we're here to take care of you. State inspections, whatever you need. Our number here is 610-384-2879.
Good morning, Chester County Transmissions. Rich speaking. How can I help you?
Please stop in, give us a call. God bless.
We are back as Coatesville leads 38-13 with 4:46 to go in the fourth quarter. Carl, talk about what you're expecting to see from Coatesville going forward.
Well, they'll get some good competition from Garnet Valley next week. I look for them to win that football game, but I think you might actually see them play into the fourth quarter, Mikey. And so I think they'll get a little bit of a test, but I think they will prevail by 14 to 21 points.
Well, Carl, with Coatesville's win tonight, you know what that means tomorrow at Coatesville Flower Shop. Mention this ad, buy 1 dozen roses, get 1 dozen roses free. That's right, Coatesville Flower Shop is 70 years old and still going strong. This family-owned business is located at the corner of 3rd Avenue and East Lincoln Highway in Coatesville. Whatever the occasion, you can rely on their years of experience for expert advice and designs. They have been named one of FTD's top 200 florists in the nation for 10 consecutive years with 4 generations of the DePedro family working there. They're happy to go the extra mile to meet your needs, and they deliver. More on the flower shop after this play. He's right in the shotgun. Handoff goes to Harris. And give the Coatesville Flower Shop a call at 610-384-2677. And again, mention this ad tomorrow only. Buy 1 dozen roses, get 1 dozen roses free. .402 to go in the fourth quarter. Expecting Coatesville just to keep running the ball.
Yep, just run out the clock.
They're letting the play clock get inside of 5 seconds before every snap now. Easterday with the toss. It's going to bring up a third down for the Red Raiders. Carl, I believe, I want to say Easterday is either a senior or even if he is a junior, Ortega's going to be back next year. So,
right. He won't get much playing time.
Well, in situations like this, he will.
Right. But he's really just handing the ball. He's not really getting a chance to throw
Right.
the football.
You know, Young is graduating, going to Michigan State, but it's going to be Ortega and Bryant back for another year. A run for Harris again.
You know, Harris carried the ball all 3 times on that possession, Mikey. He'll punt it away. There's the clock running down. This should be the last series of the game, Mikey.
Coatesville had too many men on the field.
Two guys. A lot of confusion there.
Yeah, another man just coming off the field late. How did they not get called for that? The last man came up really very low snap. And they still try to kick it. It is blocked. So Downingtown East is going to have great field position after this word from Beaver Creek Tavern. Whether looking for the best burgers in Chester County, a place to host your private event, or a relaxing place to enjoy daily food and drink specials, Beaver Creek Tavern has you covered. Serving classic American fare with gluten-free and vegetarian options available. To get the party started, go to 1350 Bondsville Road in Downingtown or call 484-593-0481. We'll see you there. We are back as Downingtown East has great field position after the blocked punt. It is still the starters in for Downingtown East. That run by Jack O'Reilly. Looks like a run by
I believe it was Connor Noble, Mikey?
No, it's Shane O'Shea.
Shane O'Shea, okay.
49.
49, not 9. You're right.
Starting to see some guys touch the ball that we're not used to. We still got the starting QB in, and John Estate with the run. He's going to go in for the 6-yard touchdown. Extra point is up, and it is no good again, Carl. 38-19 is your score. We'll be back with what looks like it'll be the final drive of the game after this word from the James J. Terry Funeral Home.
Since 1997, the James J. Terry Funeral Home has been providing meaningful and personalized funeral and cremation services in Downingtown. We've now expanded into Western Chester County and have opened our second location on Lincoln Highway in Coatesville. Let our friendly and professional staff show you the benefits of pre-planning your funeral arrangements. Pre-arranging provides your family with options ahead of time and can ease future financial burden. We'll be glad to assist you in your pre-arrangement process in the Downingtown or Coatesville location. Let the James J. Terry Funeral Home be there for you and your family in your time of need.
We are back as Downingtown East has gotten their third touchdown, but it all have come after they've trailed 38-0, Carl. And it was their starters versus the Coatesville backups. This is going to be Coach Ortega's 100th career win. And more important in his mind, it's going to be they have advanced one round further in the playoffs. That's Reason on the return. Sardella Eye Associates is providing the very best in eye care to families in Chester County for over 20 years. Sardella Eye Associates provides comprehensive eye exams, treatment and management of eye disorders, dry eye therapy, eyeglasses, contact lenses, and more. Go see them at their conveniently located offices at 1810 East Lincoln Highway in Coatesville, or give them a call at 610-466-9909. We want to give a shout out to Jack's Pizza for supplying the ChestnutFootball.com crew with their halftime meal. Oh, and they've doused the coach with some water in honor of his 100th win. Congratulations to Coach Ortega. Again, I want to give a shout out to Jack's Pizza, located at 1940 East Lincoln Highway. Call them at 610-384-1000 or visit them at jackspizzacoatesville.com. And that's going to do it as Coatesville has advanced to the third round of the playoffs with a 38-19 win over the Downingtown East Cougars. All Coatesville tonight, Carl.
All Coatesville, Mikey. Just mop-up scores by the starters of Downingtown East and a meaningless second half. Maybe not for them, and some of them are seniors, and it's their last game, and they wanted to go out on a winning note.
Carl, we're going to have you recap the second half scoring, but first want to give a final word from our friend Kim Moralia. Are you in the market for a new home or have a house to sell? Contact Kim Moralia, Real Estate with Kim Passion. As a lifelong resident of the area, her expertise is focused in Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware counties. For 15 years, Kim's passion for helping her clients reach their goals always shines through whether you're buying or selling your home. Kim is an award-winning realtor with Caldwell Banker Preferred in Exton. Check out our website, kimsellsthesuburbs.com, or give her a call at 484-368-9450. That's Kim Moralia, Real Estate with Kim Passion. And before we go down to Alan Foster with the post-game interview with the victorious coach, Carl, give us the second half scoring recap. It was all the Cougars.
All the Cougars, and they finally got it going in the fourth quarter, Mikey, as Downingtown's Luke Davis finally hit Albert Choi on a beautiful 31-yard touchdown pass to get him on the board, and the extra point was good to make it 38-7. Then Downingtown gets the ball back again, and this time it's Jack Riley on a 38-yard touchdown pass from Davis. The extra point was no good, and it was 38-13. Then we had a block punt as the bad snap led to a block punt. Downingtown was able to get the ball at their 13-yard line, and they ran it in for a touchdown.
And before we have the interview with Coach Ortega, one final word from the Sunoco Pipeline.
America's oil and gas moves through 2.4 million miles of underground pipelines safely. But one of those pipelines were gone. We would need 90,000 more tanker trucks or 27,000 more rail cars every single day just to meet our energy needs. So, do you want this, or this? We move America's energy. We are Sunoco Pipeline.
Defeated Downingtown East by a score of 38-19. We want to thank our advertisers for tonight's game, the Sunoco Pipeline Energy Transfer Partnership. Washington Hose Company #1. The Coatesville Flower Shop. Remember, tomorrow only, mention this ad, buy 1 dozen roses, get 1 dozen roses free. Chester County Transmissions, Beaver Creek Tavern, Brian Maloney, James J. Terry Funeral Home, Sardella Eye Associates, Kim Moralia, Real Estate with Kim Passion, and Big Boys Barbecue Sauce. Again, we're going to have an interview with Alan Foster and Coach Ortega. Just a reminder, this is our final broadcast of the 2018 season. I want to thank all of you for tuning in all season long. All our games are archived on ChestmontFootball.com. As we see Alan down there with Coach Ortega. Alan, take it away.
This is Alan Foster, 3C TV Live. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks.
Coach, we got to make a habit of this. We keep on meeting like this. What do you think about the game tonight?
That was just an awesome game. I mean, our kids, just like you said, like last year, we came out here and played them in that 20-degree night, and this time we came out here in the pouring down raining, and these kids they just believe, and I knew there was no doubt they were going to come out here and put one of the best games of the season. And defensively, we played our butts off on defense, and our offense took care of business, and it was a great night.
Coach, I want to congratulate you on your 100th win. I got a little present for you right here. I want you to hold this up for me.
Well, that's awesome, man. Thank you. Thanks a lot. That's awesome. Thanks a lot.
Coach, congratulations on your 100th win.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, let's talk about your son, Ricky.
Yep.
Had a fantastic game tonight. Aaron Young. And your defense, I think you stepped up more than anything else in this weather. It was a terrible, terrible weather.
Yeah, I'd say our defense, I think, again, I keep saying, I think they go, underappreciated. I mean, everybody talks about our O, and that's great, and our offense is, exceptional. But our defense, and they're getting better every week, and we had a chance to play them, 2 times in the last 3 weeks, and I knew we'd come out and play better because our kids knew the offense, and our reads and keys were easier this time because we're playing them so fast. And like I said, 2 weeks ago, and they came out and played their butts off tonight.
Well, Coach, your next game's going to be a little tougher than this one. What's your business plan for this one?
This game, I talked to the kids out there at the end of the game. We circled this game last year, and we knew Garnet Valley was going to be there. I mean, we played them last year, and just could tell the kind of, their team, their culture, and football at their schools, and they're doing some special things there. And we knew that they were going to be there in the end, and here we go next week.
All right, Coach. Again, I want to congratulate you on a 100th win. That's something impressive.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, this is Alan Foster, 3C TV Live. We're going to take it back to the booth for Mikey and Carl.
Well, thank you, Alan. And again, it was Coach Ortega's 100th win. As you see the players holding up the T-shirts, and they're going to take on Garnet Valley in the next round. For Downingtown East, it's a disappointing ending to the season, but they're going to have fellow Chestmonters advancing as Downingtown West won tonight, Unionville won tonight. But tonight, Carl, final thoughts. It was all Coatesville. They are probably a better team than they were last year, which is saying something. For all of you listening out there or watching out there, want to thank you for tuning in all season. And for the entire ChestmontFootball.com crew, I am Mikey Dunn saying good night, everybody.